we just got done choosing the best 5 offensive team builder players to choose from. Now it's time to get into defense, and the defensive side of the ball is so much more harder to choose than offense. But offense is easy because they got a bunch of, I don't call them bums per se, but they got a bunch of players where you don't really need. So if you go, like I said, quarterback, you don't need to get Teddy Bridgewater or the other 2 quarterbacks, because if you pre-order the game, you already have Lamar Jackson. If you don't got Lamar Jackson, you can get an 85 for playing Superstar KO, or you can get Big Ben, who's also a really good quarterback. That's great right there. Running back wise, you got AP, Eddie George. Receiver wise, you got like a bunch of choices here. So it's offense, even though there's some good players to choose from still, there's not as much choices compared to what you got over on defense. Defense, where they win championships, the team builder players that are here are absolute animals. The last video I mentioned that there are 2 ways to go about getting these cards, when there are actually 3. I'm not going to go mention the last 2 ways. If you guys did not check out that video, be sure to do so, link down in the description below. But the 3rd way to go about getting these team builder cards is that they are auctionable, so you can just spend coins to get them as opposed to playing these long solos or doing the set. Now, when it comes to doing the set, price it out first and see if it's worth doing over buying, because right now some of these cards are like 80,000 coins, which is insane considering that the set doesn't take more than 60,000 coins on the high end. So price it out first and save that coin. If you think about it, you got 100,000 coins and the set cost you 50k to do. That's 2 players, whereas if you buy 1 player for 80k, you're wasting a lot of coins and also potential spots on your roster. So as I mentioned off top, we got 5 players that we're going to be looking at in this video that you should add to your Madden Ultimate Team that's going to make it much better. And there are some mutants here. Like EA this year outdid themselves. They went deep into their Duffy and pulled out some really good cards. Now, we're not going to be looking at any defensive tackles, no left end, right end, no DTs, just because I'm looking at the positions, and while they have some good ratings for the most part, I just don't see any value in spending 50,000 coins on a guy just so he can get pushed back on a run blocking play online. We need players that are going to make impacts for this type of value, and you can find budget players that have good strength, that have decent block shed, that are heavy as hell, like your boy over here, for much cheaper on the auction house than 50,000 coins minimum. These players paying 50,000 coins for minimum need to make a impact on your team immediately, and these 5 players I have here, I personally believe will. Now, the first one I think is a card that a lot of people might be sleeping on, and that's just because I feel like he's not like a sexy name. He doesn't have really any sexy stats like these other 4 cards do, but my man Cole Holcomb of the Washington football team, is there any? Yes, there's one up. Bet Cole Holcomb is an absolute monster in my opinion. I love this card just because I probably use absolute way too much. I need to find some more synonyms to like put in there. But Cole Holcomb, this guy, the reason why I think he's going to be very versatile and important to your Madden Ultimate Team is the fact that he has 85 speed, 85 acceleration with 80 hit power, 78 block shed, as well as he has 85 agility. Like, he's a great user, but the main reason why I think this guy's important to have is because once the game comes out officially on the 25th, when everybody starts getting their pre-order packs and getting their free Lamar Jackson and power him up to an 87 overall, you're going to need a guy that can spy him, because I feel like with how easy it is to run a ball in this game, everybody wanted to try out Big Truz if he does indeed get that in Madden Ultimate Team, and you want to be able to like have a guy that can keep up with them. You're not going to be able to constantly spy safeties, obviously, unless you're running big nickel, then it makes a lot of sense. But in terms of if you're like me, like to use 3-4-4-3, having a linebacker on the field to have obviously more block shedding and more hit power than some of these other cornerbacks and safeties have. You got a guy out here in Cole Holcomb that can compete with the linemen, the tight ends, and also be able to keep up with the quarterback. He's not going to catch him in an outright foot race, but he can beat him to the spot, or hopefully cut him off before he gets to that spot and force him back into help defense. This Cole Holcomb is going to help out a whole lot when it comes to shutting down the best quarterback in Madden Ultimate Team early on. Sticking with the linebackers, we're going to go to the middle next. And on Madden Ultimate Team, as you can see, there's only one up here with Anthony Hitchens, who's going for 40,000 coins. He is solid, so let's just go ahead and take a detour on over to Mudhead. That way we can go ahead and look and see which players are available to get. We got Alexander Johnson with 78 speed, 6'2", 85 hit power, which is solid. We got Jared Davis out here, 83 speed with 87 hit power, 77 block shed. We got Anthony Hitchens, you guys saw Madden Ultimate Team, 40,000 coins, 79 speed at 6 foot tall, 87 hit power. But there's one linebacker out of this batch that's standing out above the rest, and that's going to be this Denzel Perryman. This dude is 5'11", 240 pounds, so he got some weight to him with 90 hit power. So this card is fantastic for multiple reasons. One of them being the fact that running the ball in this game apparently seems to be really good early on, and you want to have guys out there on the defensive side of the ball that can lay a hit stick to hopefully force that fumble. This guy having 90 hit power stock is great. The other thing is that if we end up getting power-ups for these team builders, which is a good chance they could do that considering that these guys are going to be in the game this early on, and let's say Series 2 comes out, we potentially could get powers for these cards. At that point, he'll have 91 hit power and be able to have Enforcer active on him, which is gonna obviously force more fumbles. So I love this Denzel Perryman for that reason right there, because he's gonna help shut down the run game if you can line that hit stick up. He's not the greatest user though, which kind of sucks, only 76 agility, but you're getting this guy just to get out here and run directly into the running back and hit him as hard as he can, and hopefully that ball squirts out. Next on my list, we got a cornerback, and this man I believe to be the best cornerback out of the batch. You got Nevin Lawson on there, Trey Waynes, you got Mike Hughes, but none of them come close. Trey Waynes kind of, but none of them besides him come close to this AJ Terrell of the Atlanta Falcons, man. That Falcons theme team is nasty if you look at their cornerbacks. It's wild. 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 84 agility with 81 jumping and 80 zone coverage and 81 press. His change directions at 85, which means he can also be a solid user, or he's going to be crazy in man or zone coverage. And with how sticky man coverage appears to be so far online from what I've been watching, that 76 man might not be the highest, but you're getting this guy solely to have somebody that won't get beat over the top. And this guy will not get beat over the top unless you go do something crazy and like press Calvin Johnson. But Calvin Johnson's not in the game right now, so you should have to worry about that. 3 out the way, 2 more to go, and I don't even know how to classify these next two, man. These next two are basically mutants. These are football players that you would make in Creator Player. These are guys that shouldn't exist in nature, but they do. At free safety, there's 3 available, but there are none that come close to this Grant Delpit of the Cleveland Browns. Again, another card, 80,000 coins. Do the set if you want this card. Do not buy off the auction block. Unless you just want to waste coins. If you want to do that, then go do your thing, baby. I can't control what you do with your own coins, but I'd rather save a little bit to help improve my team. But whatever. Grant Delpit, free safety. Bro, if you haven't seen his stats, 6'3", 86 speed, 88 hit power with 88 acceleration, 83 zone. And if you get locked down on this dude's card, that's 80 man too. This Grant Delpit is like the Swiss Army knife when it comes to free safeties, dog. He has great speed, right? So he can pretty much keep up with a lot of the top end guys in this game. He has decent man, but which can get to 80, which makes him a little bit better. He has solid zone coverage for his overall. And then he has high hit power. Change direction on it is an 81, so that's up there with some of the good running backs, so he can move smoothly if you're going to be using him out there with his 84 agility. And then on top of all that, if you go to compare this guy to the free Ronnie Lott that you get for playing solos, like the only thing Ronnie Lott has is 78 tackle, and I promise you, 4 tackle all the way up to like 89 tackle pretty much plays exactly the same. Until you can get the abilities that make them better, tackle rating does not matter. So scratch that, throw it off the board. Grant Delpit has all the ratings on this Ronnie Lott. All of them, even the height. Grant Delpit's a beast. Last but certainly not least, this is a card that I contend, I personally believe that EA took ratings from Tremont Edmonds and gave it to Terrell Edmonds, because Terrell Edmonds is so damn good it doesn't make any sense. Like I'm looking at the strong safeties. Jeremy Chin's not bad. You got this Ronnie Harrison. You got Deshaun Gibson Sr. But Edmonds, man, this I looked at this card when they first like announced it. I'm like, yeah, he's my strong safety. And then I saw Isaiah Simmons. I'm like, okay, he's my backup strong safety. But still, a guy like this is valuable to have to any roster, man. Backup or starter. 89 speed, 89 acceleration with 81 tackle. I don't know why I brought that up. I just said it didn't matter in the last portion of it. Now I'm talking. Whatever. Ignore what I just said right there. But 90 hit power. That's what matters about this man's card. 82 agility and his change direction is only at 79. So not as good of a user as the Grant Delpit appears to be, which is fine because you can use a Grant Delpit who's a better user who also has a little bit more height and play this guy either as strong safety, move him down inside the box in your big nickel or your 3-4 bear formation. He can stop the run, he can stop the pass, he can match him up against that. Well, so unless Tyreek has matchup nightmare, or this game's weird, right? Because you play a safety at linebacker, and even though he's a safety, he still becomes a linebacker technically. So he's still making mossed by receivers, which is really, 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 really annoying because he's a linebacker technically in that formation. But if you play this guy at safety and you're manning up against Tyreek's not going to be able to run by him. And you can bring him down on blitzes. He can hit dudes in the backfield, force fumbles. I'm just liking what I'm seeing out of this card. And if you guys need to get a strong safety just as a backup for kick return purposes too, like he's valuable there. He can force fumbles on those kicks and get you the ball in good prime field position, which may help you win some games. So all these cards I mentioned should help you win some games. And since they can help you win some games, there are players that you need to go ahead and pick up. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of my top 5 defensive players list for team builders. Did I miss anybody? Did I overrate somebody? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, leave a like in the video, subscribe if you guys are new. Hit that bell button to get notified whenever I upload a video. It's been your boy Texas, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
They say money can't buy your happiness, but I swear to God, it's a good down payment. Trying to stuff so many binges in my pocket, you would swear that I was out here trying to drown Franklin. I was bred in the slums, got fed up with crumbs, now you don't play a pound cake. Told me when it was a root of all evil, but I swear to God, I ain't never found safe.